Hi friends, hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map. I thought I'd just come in and share a couple of things with you. So as for my March cards, I actually pulled them away, so I'm not going to pull them out anymore. But my plant ally for March was rosemary, and the keyword was ancient memory. So I felt like it was going back to the roots for me. I've done a lot of astro research, and it's interesting how this astrology with the 13 constellations with Ophiuchus included just shook me to my core, and I felt this deep need for my astrology to be connected to the constellations, even though I have done so much research. And what's fascinating to me as well is that going away from tropical astrology for a while and going a bit like, oh fuck, I don't know which one I want to do, and is this working? It's been working for 17 years, but I was a bit forced to actually research my sources, my roots in the tropical astrology as well. And I found a lot of amazing confirmation for both systems to be so valid. And I learned also specifically from Gemini Bread that I always used to say that tropical astrology was seasonal. Yes, it is, but it also works for seasons in Southern Hemisphere, not only for seasons in Northern Hemisphere. So what's interesting about it, that he claims the tropical astrology is directional. It's really connected to the skies, but in a different way, to the solar way, to equinoxes, to solstices. It works beautifully as well, but yeah, it's not really connected to the constellations. The true sidereal astrology is connected to the constellations, and I also love it so much. So I kind of live in the both systems for now. We'll see how that evolves. So rosemary at the ancient memory, I felt like I got that kick, that maybe I was connected to this true sidereal astrology at some point, past lives, who knows, astrology definitely comes big time for me recently. And I found something which was fascinating to me. It was just some, my old journals, but this is from 2020. February 2020, and I was doing this mythic life with Sharon Blackie, and in this we were talking about ancestors, and I had this meditation and I saw this ancient ancestor, but when I started reading I forgot about it totally, right? She was like an oracle reader, and she was throwing pebbles on the ground and they were reflecting constellations of the sky. When I read it now, I was just thinking, fuck, that was indication maybe of what's to come. It came 2 years later. That's how oracle works as well. We often expect it to be fulfilling its prophecy next day, next week, next month. Sometimes you have to wait a year or 2 years or 3 years, for you to understand. So she had this, I called her Stagara, because she looks like a stag, but she was also Astra that I heard. So the third eye, communication, telepathy. Her third eye was filled with spiraling stars and galaxies. How interesting. Communicating with my third eye. And then Hetien posted the lady and the stag as an altar for me as well. That was very tuned in. So this ancient ancestor had a very white hair with these two tower-like structures on top of her head, so a bit like Princess Leia, and she had a wide open third eye, so like Lady and the Stag. And I saw also ancestors coming down, creating a huge key image. No, just interesting. And then I kind of connected with her a couple of more times, and I saw some interesting stuff, but when I saw these constellations, that's really fascinating. Also, if you sign up to my newsletter, you get a discounted option or a discount for the 13 constellations astrology readings. And I find these readings really interesting and opening up to, you know how sometimes, like, I've been studying tropical astrology for 17 years and I know my chart upside down, and you know, it's always evolving because it's always changing, but I kind of feel like sometimes it's, you know, we kind of get stuck in what we think we are or who we think we are. This astrology connected to the constellations gives you a little bit another option, on like a little door in which you can open up to what you can work with, what you can develop this lifetime as well on top of your tropical astrology. So I think like this is a really interesting version of how to look at oneself from the evolutionary perspective. It really helped me to kind of see myself from a little bit different perspective, and I can feel how that resonates, even though I don't like it, because sometimes it goes totally against my tropical chart and it goes against my character, but it's evolutionary thing. So the more I sit with it, the more I deepen this understanding, the more I go, fuck, it's true, I'm actually developing it instinctively anyway, but I just, so you know, reclaim that knowledge and take on this vision. It's quite interesting process. So if you would like to get this astrological consultation with 13 signs, I called it spiral astrology reading. It's on my website, I link it here, and yeah, please, it will be in the description box as well. Don't shy. If you don't want to pay the full price, sign up for my newsletter. There is a discount code for subscribers only, and I highly advise this reading for anyone who wants to open up the traditional Western astrology chart to a new perspective connected to the stars. Okay, so I haven't connected much with rosemary itself as a plant. I don't really have it growing near me right now. I do have a dried version, and I know I can connect with the rosemary through spirit communication, which of course I do a lot, but I haven't really done this. That ancient memory rosemary card as my ally for March was connected or ruled by Mercury and Sun, and definitely March was for me very intellectual as well. A lot of active mind research, a lot of things happened as well that I'm so excited about. I'm still doing Hagitude with Sharon Blackie. This time it's a year program, and recently Caroline Hillier from Weaver's Oracle was talking about the weavers, and she actually has an online program, and she was so gracious. She actually gifted me this program, so I'm going to be doing her program as well, and I'm so curious about it. This is a perfect timing. I will be moving to the countryside from the city. Most of you maybe know or don't know, but we're in the process of purchasing a house after we sold our apartment, after Ukraine happened. It was a bit stressful shock decision made. Now we had to do something, like swap it for something. We wanted to move to Croatia, but like we couldn't afford it, and we found finally a place that we both liked. So yeah, I'm going to be sharing something soon from the house. But yeah, I've done a lot of studies and discoveries, and I had archetype that I pulled was the pilgrim archetype. Again, I haven't done much of the physical pilgrimaging or traveling at all, but I've done a lot of traveling in astral realms. My alchemy phase for 3 months, I'm pulling these cards for 3 months, was actually the Blue Temple. So that was interesting because it was about astral travels and this, kind of traveling in through different realms. Now I have melanosis, darkening. So we have the snake, the egg, and the crow, and this archetype of the darkening. It's just interesting because it's about depth and readiness and churning, pondering the wisdom of the dusk. And this is darkness is an achievement in alchemy. So this is readiness for the work, and the darkness prepares us. We admit who we are and open ourselves to the process of transformation. So it's time to heal. The darkness is remedy, closing my eyes, and it's a voluntary expression of darkening. So this is going to be interesting to see for the next 3 months. I think there's a lot of ending that's happening for me right now. So this is for my April and till summer solstice, this alchemy card. Another one I'm pulling, as you see. So now for April I have the castle I don't know, connecting it to home, of course, setting boundaries, putting roots down, interesting. And my March one was the pilgrim, as I mentioned. Then in March, I had this sevens, so a lot of decision makings and very kind of intellectual, like adjustment energy. I have 7 feathers with facing my fears and 7 of cups with the Bouch, with Venus in Scorpio. So it's was a lot about changing my attitude and perspectives on things. For April, I have 9 of Wands, which is strength here, and I like that Sun Sagittarius, but also that inspiration like Sun Moon, you know, a lot of energy and that central pillar, which is really strong. And then I have Daughter of Cups, which is just so beautiful. This gift of serenity, the gift of devotion, gift of tears, gift of compassion. And she says, I drift along and reach my goal. The goal is inside of me and I am being carried by non-doing. An old reality dissolves and perishes. All that lives fluxes and flows and leads me to my creative source. So yeah, that's April for me. And my ally is Valerian, which is an interesting, because I feel like a lot will be happening. There's also this rat, and in front of our house we might have this water rat that is, you know, just living there, so we have to kind of make do somehow. I always feel like the humans come and like, oh, go away from my land, you know, but like the rat probably thinking the same, what the fuck, I live here. So I will be trying to energetically like push him out a little bit, because there's a lot of nature reserves around my house, and I just, you know, there's space for the rat to live there and for us to live there, so I don't have to kick him out, but like maybe he can move away a little bit and don't eat my plants. So anyway, stormy as you can see, but valerian is of course a plant that relaxes the body, right? And it asked me to zoom out of a situation that's overloaded with stress and anxiety. Go easy, don't push too hard. A mouse can be an ally, or a rat can be an ally, and a rat is quite industrious, so that's also interesting. So anyway, these are the cards that it's my diary. And I kind of, you know, don't really feel like buying or getting any new decks recently. I'm really kind of enjoying actually coming back to my Tarot de Marseille cards. I love this Tarot G23, which, you know, I'm using quite often for myself. I love the Tarot de Ambiguities. I love the oldie. This was like one of my favorites, favorite decks, Tarot Ozarks, you know, with, it's just this abstract but beautiful, I mean abstract, not abstract, but like modern take on Tarot de Marseille. I love this deck so much with the colors. So yeah, this keeps coming out. Tarot de Marseille decks, or pip decks in general, are making a big comeback right now to me. I love this Tarot of the Drowning World. I love Ex Umbra Tarot, and this is also the pip deck, and it's not maybe Tarot de Marseille per se, but inspired, and it's interesting constellations in the back. So very elemental, this one. I love it. Feels good to read because the light that's used in the art, it's just very kind of evocative. So I love this one. I have been also playing and figuring out ways to work with this Counting to Infinity deck, because it's so pretty and I love astrology of it. So I love I wish somebody did like more of the asteroid cards. Maybe I should do it myself. And I'm trying to just work totally intuitively with this, with hand postures and with colors and so on. So often I pull cards from asteroids and then pull cards from this second part of the deck and put them all together and try to do a reading from it. But I'm sure there are other ways to work with it. I haven't just have time to find more. The holistic astrological cards from Carney, a big comeback right now for me, because I also have done Carney's new astrology course, which can be used for people who know astrology and just want to explore and expand on their take. She uses 12 realms, astrological realms. I'm going to take Karni on and invite her to Inspire Tarot Map again. We're going to be talking a little bit about astrology and how she does it, like I did with Julie Kuchia Watts. So yeah, Karni's deck, very cool, with astrological cards. And I love this crazy little deck by Melissa Lucia. So this is the little funky words. So, you know, Funky Fresh, So 87, Good Grief, Ode 5000, Hot House Flower, Space Cadet. So I think she chose some of those kind of sayings and typical maybe American thing. You guys will get it much more than I do from like 80s and so on. So but I find it cool when you add it to readings, when you add it to your cards. So that's fascinating. Yeah, I have been actually practicing with Belinda Gore. I am signed up for her 6 months of the Ancient Ritual Postures course, and we have been doing recently the Mayan Oracle. I have like really great like journey with this card that was really fascinating. So I have been actually like writing a lot of my journeys with these cards, with the ancient postures. In my diary I found a book that I mean a journal that I used to write all my shamanic journeys in, all the different ones. Sometimes I used to do shamanic journeys for a while during this different transits, astrological transits with different, you know, planets and so on and so forth. So now I'm kind of doing these shamanic postures, and Shirley, one of the ladies who is also part of the class, she actually bought this clay that dries really quickly, and she makes, every time we journey with a card, she makes that little figurine from that clay, and I really want to do it. This is a cool idea for this. I'm still fascinated with the weavers, so now when I kind of have access to Caroline Hillier online course, I'm going to link it below, guys, check it out. But yeah, I'm going to also invite Caroline to the Inspired Tarot Map, and she agreed. So sometime in May, maybe we can catch up with her. It would be really great, so she can tell us all about this this journey that she's offering online. She has never offered anything like this online, so I always wanted to study with her, and I always felt like I am studying with her, but you know, over the weavers. But now it's like deepened work, and the Real Astrology Tarot by Julie Kuchia Watts, and it's still my fascination. I really love the artwork in this deck. I love the idea of this deck. I'm still learning so much from Julie when I'm just like because she's an eyeballer, and you have to listen to our conversations. Yeah, she shares a lot of cool inspirational ideas about astrology, about tarot, and so on, and about art in general. So this deck is really cool. It uses again 13 constellations based on Egyptian ancient approach to astrology, and a little bit of like Julie's twist, you know. So Real Sky Astrology Tarot, you can purchase it in Printer's Studio. Any other decks that I'm like really enjoying right now? I think mostly that's it. I'm like, you know, always reaching up and down for something, but yeah, that's it, my friends. So this is what I wanted to share. I hope you have a good time right now. Speak to you soon. Bye.